Alright, thank you. Automatically defaults off. What was your native fruit for your island when you started? You get apples, cherries, pears, pineapple. I wish we got pineapple. Yeah, I think some of them, I can't remember if I got them all or I actually had to visit somebody. I can't remember, but I can bring you the rest. 'Cause all you need now are apples and peaches. Oh, I didn't find the bottle yet either, did I? Hold on. Did I screw something up here? Or did I pick up the bottle? I must have. Darn it. Hi, Lavender. I must have picked up the bottle. It's a tiny little lake. Tiny little lake. Do I need a bagworm? Is that what it was? Probably this tree up here. Animal Crossing's fun. It's good time. I don't want to screw up the money rock. Alright, that's probably enough for pounding this island. You're all pears. Let me just make sure. Did I even check? It's raining. Hold on, I should try fishing. Oh, I should actually go deep sea diving too because it's raining. Just to make sure I can't catch something that I can't only get in the rain. That doesn't help me tell me the month. Alright, let's try this. Well, I do have the bottle. I didn't see it. Bettina. A rocking horse. Yeah, Animal Crossing is a great game. Alright, let's go see what we can find again. In the torrential storm. Is that the one you have to fish off the pier? Do you have the pier yet? Let me look. See, rainy days. Okay. Just rare. Yeah, that pier, that dock, not the airport. The pier is where the boat will be, but you can catch different fish off of that pier than you can what's in the ocean. So, like, for example, that colance won't be at the pier because it's a sea fish, but the pier will have its own kind of rare whatever. I actually bought some red seedless grapes. They're pretty good. I should go wash them up. I got some nice grapes for dessert. Yeah, Friday nights are usually slow. You won't see a lot of people till Australia gets up and down here. Or lunchtime. Because North America's out drinking. Or out partying, I should say. So that part, you don't get a lot of people from North America on a Friday night. I meet a lot of people on a Friday night, actually, now that I think about it, if I do the numbers. Let's just calculate the math. Once I get back to healthy, I'll start calculating trends and numbers. I need somebody, you know what I need? Is I need a couple high school or college kids who have a pretty good YouTube following. Or on YouTube, knows a lot of YouTubers. That can spread my name out and just give me some follows or subscribes or whatever they call them. Yeah, you kind of have to just wait. And boy, does it ever suck if you miss a fish or something and you gotta wait 12 months. That's the part that drives me nuts. Garbage. I love fishing garbage. So why did you take fish biology? So I've caught a tire, a can, and a boot. Okay, so that's it for me then. I am loaded to the gills. Oh wait, did I catch a tiger prawn right there? Nice, that's food. Let's head on home. Jimmy Dean. Well, that's cool. Usually you don't see, did you know that there was a species of grapefruit that not only has 4 eyes, but effectively 4 sexes? How do you have 4 sexes? You know the human race is losing the Y chromosome. Pretty soon we won't have men. A million years from now. Suck that up, man. You're not the dominant species anymore. So they have male, female, so obviously, but they also have a right and left-handed, for want of a better word. So a right-handed male will have his anatomy on that side and can only breed with a complementary female. Okay, that's a little... That one's a little interesting to figure out. That's actually kind of crazy if you think about it. Because could you picture if that happened to humans, if only a right-handed male could mate with a left-handed female? That would be some creepy, dopey crap right there. Wait, did you say you had cherries? Or not cherries? Pears, cherries, and oranges. So you need peaches and apples. Okay. I'm offering the barn, buddy. Well, I mean, from a scientific standpoint, I guess, but from a faith standpoint, no. Because things happen for reasons, right? And we evolve and change. I mean, it's probably to say, too, like, if you look at, if you, right, but does it strengthen the species or weaken the species? I guess. Oh, add it. I guess is the question. Right, but say it's a 90-10 split. Then it's only breaking off a little piece, right? And then we can talk mathematics all day, but it is kind of interesting though. Like say for example, we'll just use cod for example. Or let's use haddock, because haddock's a flatfish, right? That'd be a good example, because reproductive organs are probably on the bottom. If all of a sudden it flipped and the reproductive organs were on top, you know, is it a birth defect, or is it, you know, a completely changing species? And of course we could always look at the, you know, the seahorse, right? Seahorse being the only one who the male gives birth, right? I mean, in that regard too, I mean, that's an interesting change. Or an interesting element of life, I should say. I like seahorses. It's always funny because I always think about, you know, I like fish, but I am terrible at keeping them alive for some reason. I'm not gonna lie, like I am the fish, I'm bad luck, bad news bear kind of guy. I don't know. Or maybe it's because I put too many fish in a tank. Or maybe I should try that all over again. What is triophobia? I don't have phobias to anything except for spiders crawling all over me. I'm like the opposite of Indiana Jones. I'd rather you put me in a room full of snakes than you put me in a room full of spiders. I can't do the feeling of little things touching me. Women excluded from that equation, but thank you for the subscription. Thank you for liking over there on YouTube. I appreciate that. But there's another one too. I turned that off. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. I've got to figure out the stream software. I got to figure out why it crashes so much. I got to figure out why this computer isn't letting me go beyond 50% memory usage either. Wait, what was I doing? Goldfish, sell fruit, bagworm. Yeah, so I'm basically done. Just whatever I want to do because I'm not getting a bagworm. That's, you know how painful that is? Let's try it. Let's go shake these pine trees. See if we can find a bagworm. I hate these. I'd rather get stung by a crap load of wasps. Look for bagworms. But well, you'll get to see the island. And I put dirt around here just so things can drop. You need spaces, right? Flowers take up too much space. Like if you have, like over here, like nothing will drop from this tree, no matter how much you shake it, because there's nothing, there's no empty space. So like I need to dig up all these flowers. This is an area I haven't even focused on yet, because I haven't decided what to do with. But we'll figure it out. It's like I wish there was a reset button where I could just wipe out all the vegetation. There's another star. What is going on with the stars? Whoops. Get you back. Sorry. Sorry, Lily. Okay, why am I finding 2 sets of fossils today? That's royally weird. Up your alley weird. It's like boys in the yard kind of weird. But I had a good time working in the yard today, being different, and being normal. Not different. Felt really good to do some yard work. Since I really haven't been out of this house in a year and a half, I've been sick. And man, I'll tell you what. The other day, my neighbor, I've got new neighbors, right? And I'm one of those guys who I work and I put headphones in. So I've got my earbuds in, you know, headset, whatever you want to call it. And that guy right up that tree, huh? I didn't even see him. Trying to shake the tree. And this guy walks up to me and I lose it. Like I like freak out, scream, you know. It was like, I felt like a little schoolgirl screaming, like this dude totally scared the crap out of me. I was like, damn, you know, embarrassed, right? And then he's all reaching to shake my hand and I'm like, oh, hell no, I'm not shaking your hand. You know, and it was basically just because I'm a cancer patient and I can't afford to get sick. Oh, I need that balloon too. Which way are you going, balloon? Damn, where did it go? Alright, where did that balloon go? Oh, I got it. Talk about being lucky. I couldn't even see it. And so he freaked me out, and I was like, you know, normally I'd been like, oh yeah. So I had to explain to him, like, oh yeah, no, I have cancer. I can't shake your hand right now. You know, I'm on treatment. I don't want to, you know, risk getting sick, etc., etc. And he says, oh yeah, I understand. My brother just went through cancer, whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. You know, so it kind of gave me that out of not being a weirdo, even though I'm a weirdo. I guess I'd be a weirdo. Anybody who plays WoW as long as I do, probably a nut job. But and I feel like streaming WoW again. I like WoW. Maybe I should play a class I've never played, like the mage. Even though that's gonna bring back memories that are gonna haunt me. That was my wife's class. I did everything else because I didn't need to be the mage. I was the tank healer, elemental shaman, which I loved, goblin shaman. Oh, I love those little guys. But yeah, there's just certain things that just, you know, freak you out, right? So I'm out there, I'm working in the yard. I always wear headsets. Yeah, weirdo. That one's all right. That's not bad. We're just trying to keep away from the language. Because, you know, it's funny because that's their program, their mod thing. I can't even shut that thing off. I can't even find it. But it's been good. I wish I'd turned one on YouTube. It's over there. Holy crap, it's bad. You know, people like to just come in and be nasty to you, right? And I'm like, look, man, you can say whatever you want. I really don't care. And I look at it like this, too, because, like, I'm a person who streams just to have a connection with people, right? Let's just put it that way, because I don't have a connection with people right now because I'm sick, right? So I don't have that human touch outside of, you know, my house kind of scenario. And so I go onto YouTube or Twitch because I stream in order to get that human connection, to talk to people. And then people, you know, they show their worst sides. They're racist, they're nasty, you know, they poke fun. They don't know anything about me. They don't know I'm a cancer patient who was not going to be here today, you know, that I'm lucky to be alive today. You know, they don't know anything about me, yet they want to mock me and say things, and just because they want to show the nastiness of their lack of character. And I'm going to say lack of character is probably the correct, you know, versus what it should be, right? I get that. It's just that I don't even think that way, you know. I type the way I talk, and I don't think about what I'm typing. I have no malice any cell in my body, so I don't think about how to. Yeah, and you know that's interesting too. Like and that's a good point, because I'm the same way, right? I can be a sailor verbally. I can be a saint. I choose not to be a sailor or not to be 18 plus just because there could be younger audiences watching me. And especially when I'm playing cozy games. It's like, and here's a good point, like Mama Cody's grandkids, when she's got them and I'm playing this, they're watching. So it gives them something to do other than Blippi or Ryan's World or whoever, you know, they're watching Bluey, and they should watch Bluey over me any day of the week. So grandparents, parents, Bluey should be priority number one in your kid's development. I love Bluey. So if you're not watching Bluey, I can't tell you. I love Bluey. And I love Chili. I love the voice actor for Chili. I don't care what she looks like, whatever. There's something about her voice that is like perfect. It's just like, it's like, wow. You know, like I could sit there and just listen to her talk all day. It was kind of like, you know, musicians too. Like, I remember, who was it? God, when I was younger in high school. 10,000 Maniacs, Natalie Merchant. Her voice, I could listen to all the time. She could sing anything. It's just a flawless, beautiful voice. Yeah. Yeah, and they're just, you know, and that's just the way human nature is, right? There are things that we do I don't even know how to say it without sounding like a total weirdo. But humans, well, as a person or as people, we hear something or like something, and it's just beautiful, right? I mean, it's literally beautiful. That's what it is. There are, it's like we all have actors we like, you know, voices we like most women that I've talked to, you know, they love Sam Elliott's voice. You know, he's got a real gruff speaking, very firm, very masculine voice. You know, and it's a great thing, right? So I can't complain. The problem is I can't see through this tree. That's what I thought. This one is red. I'm going to plant the pink one here. And now, Nick Cave's voice. I'd have to look him up. I don't know the name off the top of my head. Singer? Musician? Actor? I always like Patrick Stewart. I think he has a nice voice. Singer. Give me the band. Come on, give me the band. I'm gonna say Journey. Wait, are these dark? Or Boston or something? Or they like somebody for a look, right? I'll give that too, because there's a lot of people who like somebody just the way they look. And I'm not necessarily, well, that's not true. Of course, Audrey Hepburn probably being the most beautiful woman ever. Facial features, structure. I've got a picture of her on my bedroom wall. My wife bought that too. Yeah, my wife was very well put together. Oh, okay. I'd have to. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. Not really, but for the sake of argument, yeah, I can probably look him up. I should look. What kind of flower am I holding here? Lilies. It is now the church hour. The bells have rung. What time is it? It is now 9 p.m. Do you know where your kids are? Street lights are now on. Street lamps. Or lights, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, it's always funny because part of me wants to move to a small, cozy town where everybody knows my name. But at the same time, I don't want them in my business. I mean, if I want to walk around naked in my house wearing a elephant's head on my, or horns on my head or whatever, you know, I want to do whatever. I don't want people to be all in my crap. You know, that guy's weird. He's got like a fish collection or something. He collects guppies. A parasaur torso. I think I know this kid too. I didn't have my coffee with Rooster yet. Or Brewster. God, he'd be so mad at me. But I haven't had the achievement yet to do that. What is it? Sell fruit? Change my clothes? Catch that guppy goldfish? Alright, let's do that. Let's go. I'll get up and take a walk tomorrow. Because I'd love to take a walk. Figure out how this camera works. Wait a minute. Is that plugged in? I wonder if that's what's causing my issues, that camera. I should shave my beard. It's been a whole year. Can you believe it? It's been a whole year. Wait till my new neighbors find out about my spiders. Lots of laugh. Incy Wincy just molted in an adult phase. He's about 8 or 9 inches wingspan wise. Now, what kind of spider is he? Incy. He or she. Are we talking like tarantula? Are we talking like red-haired whatever? Don't touch it. It'll cause you to poison. Aw, man, you turned around. Cool name, though. What's your name, Incy Wincy? I really just got bit by a mosquito? Are you kidding me? I didn't even see him. Dude, he just turned. Oh, you tried to trick me, frog. Rocker. Salmon pink-toed bird eater. He's a tarantula. Small for a species. They get up to 11 inches across. That's pretty big, 11-inch spider. That's a foot. Man, I've got a ruler. That's... What do you mean 11 inches across? That's pretty big. That's like grabbing a turtle, man. That's a two-hand job right there. Are you kidding me? That thing sits on your face. It's like having a cat on your head. See, I'd be losing my crap if that was all over me. I'd be losing my stuff. But I do, hold on, let me rephrase that. I do find arachnids very interesting. And I do like the way they look. I just don't like them all over me. And I don't go out of my way to like harm them or anything like that. I enjoy looking at them, but because you need them. Yeah, now you got me thinking Spider-Man. That's what Spider-Man does. He's got hooks. Well, I'm not making a lot of money today. Slow money day. But yeah, but no, I find creatures and things interesting. Like I've got a morning, and birds. I love birds. I fed them today. I cleaned up their area. Whippersnipped it nice and because the ground eaters, right? Wait, didn't you just say he was 11 inches? Oh, I thought you repeated the same sentence from earlier. You know, I find, man, talk about being sore, Jesus. I haven't used that muscle in forever. Oh yeah, what were we doing? Looking for goldfish in my one pond. I only have one pond. And sell fruit. Oh. Just rip these oranges out. Wait, oranges. There's Pietro. Freaking colorful guy. So full of life. Like, what? Oh, I took a hot shower. No, it's... Okay, let's look at it this way. When you... No, it's more a year of muscle decline and everything from being sick. And I'm just now starting to use things to try to get back to normal. Well, I guess I should stop saying normal too, because I no longer know what normal is for me. Like, I'm at 145 pounds, 140 pounds. And I probably only get to 150. I probably won't get a lot of weight. You know, I'd like to get to 165, get back up a little bit, but I don't think I'll do it. I don't think I can do it, is the other problem. Ooh, we could go witch's hat. Or mage's striped hat. That looks wrong, man. I like my Outback hat, though. It doesn't go with this C Hanten. You can wear Peach's crown. I didn't see what's in the shop. Wait, how did I pick the tulip hat? It's blue, whatever, that's fine. No, that's not gonna be fine. But like, fair enough, my mom got myositis after her treatment. Her immune system, your muscles cause a fluid and fibers that are worse. Before they diagnosed it, she couldn't lift her head up. Yeah, you know, it's crazy because I swear, if you go back and you look at my videos, go to like YouTube and find a video from last, not January we just had, but the year before, you can see how big and round I was shape-wise. Like, I could show you now and before and after photos. You would be like, who is that dude? Because I was a big round-faced guy. You know, certain glasses don't look right on me because I'm a round-faced. A little bit on the chubby side. Not really. You know, I was 200 pounds, 185. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen that switch light up before. And I don't have any brown shorts, so I'm buying those. And hey, Shenanigan. So yeah, so you know, I went from 200 pounds, and you know, I thought I had pretty good arms, you know, for an old guy. Now I feel like I'm only half the arm of what I used to have, so now I've got to get back to building up, you know, muscle mass. And I think that part's hard. I really do. That part, building back muscle mass after not using muscles for over a year is pretty different, right? Yeah, I'm not old. I'm 28. Who cares? No, I'm kidding. Hey, can I get some help on colors? Are you asking me a serious question, Bob? Yeah, you can have help on colors. What's the question? Of course, Mama Cody's laughing because she says, oh yeah, he's old. She's like, that guy's ancient. Oh, I got 2.7. I'm almost at 3. So if I cash in 30 of these, 30,000 of these. if I cash in 10,000 bells at 500, that makes 10. I mean, it's 20. 20 times 3, that's 60,000. So I can make 60,000 off of 10, I think it is. Yeah, by a couple of years. That's no big deal. Yeah, years don't matter. My wife was older than me, so it didn't matter. And it was funny too, because I never even thought about age in any of it. Oh no, my wife was significantly older than me. Like it would have been like babysitter older than me, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. As a kid, you always look at the babysitter and be like, she's got things that you don't even know what they are yet. And you're like, yeah, I want some of them. Oh man, I remember the babysitter stories. 15 years? No, not a chance. Holy smokes. We're not going to get into the differences here. Come on now. That's not relevant. Not at this moment, but still older than me. But you know, it's interesting. No, not Jesus. That would make me the pool boy. Yeah, I can be the meat, I guess. That'd be fine for me. If you told, I'd lie to my face, I've got a partner on paper older than my dad. Oh, but now I don't know who the oh yeah baby's to, but yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, age. It's funny too, because if you look at history, age didn't mean anything, right? Like age was, I mean, we married off girls in their, you know, as soon as they could have kids, right? Through history, I mean, as soon as a woman was able to have children, it was like, oh, you're old enough to go start a family. And you know, we did that through history for centuries. You know, until conservative West said, no, you got to be 18 or 21 or 19 or 45 or whatever it is nowadays. Yeah, and we still do that in European countries. There are still countries that marry off children at really significantly low ages, into, you know, and I don't know how I feel about that, you know, personally. Like, I think kids should be kids, you know, let them be kids, let them enjoy life. And then when they hit a certain point, when they can drive a car, then they can do whatever, you know. Yeah, men, we don't act our age. We act like we're babies half the time. I hate acting my age. I hate having to do adulting things. I really do. There's times I can't stand it. But then, you know, it makes a great relationship too. When you have one person who is kind of, I feel like I'm the person who's, well, we were both grounded. Can't use the word grounded. Yeah, 23. And we know about you, guy, buddy. Come on now. Oh, you're driving out to Murph tonight, aren't you? Have fun with that one, man. That would be awesome. Yeah, but age is... How do I say it? Like, it was always different. Almost... Oh, you already left? I didn't realize you left. I thought you were leaving at midnight or something. Wow, you took off early. Huh. Well, drive safe, dude. But it was always okay for, like, men to date younger, right? Look at, like... And George Burns would be the example. Everybody wanted to be him. I mean, Jesus, 80-something years old with a 20-year-old on your arm. I mean, you know, it was just the way it was, right? So there's nothing wrong with society saying that an older man dates a younger woman. The only problem is when the younger woman is too young. I feel like we just had this conversation the other night, too. Who are we talking about? Oh, I remember we were talking. Okay, yeah, we were joking with Molly about her age. I remember now. Okay. I said she was too old. Or 28-year-old or whatever she is. But yeah, so it's kind of interesting. And even the other way, like nowadays, you know, being the cougar, I guess is the term. There's nothing wrong with that. Like a 10-year, 15-year, 20-year difference. You know, you hear stories all the time come out of California where actresses or whatever, you know. And here's the thing, too. And this is where it gets interesting. Because in my head, right? Say, for example, typical husband and wife. Husband dies. Wife decides to date young. Well, her husband was already 20 years older than she was. So then she dates somebody 20 years younger than her because she wants to feel fulfilled, whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. To me, that seems normal. Yeah, and see, there's always societal... There's always that. There's always societal... Oh, you know, when people don't understand, they automatically assume the worst, right? And I don't agree with that. Like, I'll take a sugar baby, sugar mama, whatever. As long as they're intelligent and can carry a conversation, I'm okay. If they're a high schooler and can't carry an intellectual conversation, get out of my house. You know, or if they try to, well, I guess they could mother me a little bit. I don't mind that. I don't mind a good spanking every now and then, but keep me in line. But you have to be able to have a conversation. And I'm a big nerd, right? I'm a people call me dork, nerd, whatever. I mean, Jesus, I got a 3D printer. I've got tons of video game systems. I've got more figures and amiibos and toys and statues and collectibles and Legos. I'm a big dork, you know? So it's, yeah, whatever. But at the same time, you know, I'm just a normal person, right? I just want to have a normal, you know, go out, have a good time. You know, and then I go home and play The Sims, and whatever I do in my dresses, that's my business, you know. But you know what I mean? It's like you can do whatever you want. Like, and that was the great thing about video games, because I grew up at the age, you know, when video games were just taking off, right? And you could do whatever you wanted. You know, you want to play a female character, male character, you do whatever you want. And it wasn't so... Well, nowadays, I mean, there are some terms, Japanese terms, which kind of, you know, like fanboys and otakus and waifus and things like that. There are some terms that are kind of positive and derogatory at the same time toward people. So I always take those into consideration, because being Asian, it's like, oh, I don't want to get tagged in that category. Or, you know, like I'm always watching anime for the wrong thing or whatever. But then I have friends who do that, and they're married and have kids, and they're still watching that kind of anime because they like that. You know, it's like, all right, whatever. It's just whatever, you know, whatever you like, right? You want to watch the Smurfs the rest of your life? Watch the Smurfs. I'll probably watch Bluey the rest of my life, and I'm probably too old for Bluey. But, you know, it's one of those, it's hilarious, right? But people get to do whatever they want, right? Oh, that dropped into nothing. But it was interesting because, like, you know, we're talking age or whatever, but there's definitely like, okay, let me use the hospital for example. Like, for some reason, the cancer floors have the hottest nurses I've ever seen in my life. And my occupational therapist friend, who's 60 something, she tells me the same thing. She's like, you know, like, you should be dating one of these women. And I'm like, I would love to. However, they're all probably too young for me. But at the same time, it's like I've never been in a hospital situation where I felt like I was taken care of immaculate. I mean, these nurses, hands down, have made this treatment experience the best. I mean, they take care of you. It's so relaxed and refreshing. You just go in, yeah, happy. Like, I go in to get unhooked every time, like Thursday, just so I go in and see people, you know, and I could do it myself at home. But I don't. I choose to go into the hospital and let them do it. You know, half the time just because I want to see a pretty face. Other times because I want to be able to talk to somebody and be like, oh, I actually get out of my house. Because it's the 3 times in that week that I get out of my house. Because I go hospital for hookup, hospital to disconnect, and grocery store. That's about it. Only times I get out of my house during this whole treatment. It's like living in COVID all over again for me, right? But yeah, the nurses have been so kind. They're gorgeous. Of course, they're all wearing masks, so I could be lying. They could be, you know, like hideous banshees, and I would never know. But then I don't care. You know, it's kind of one of those, and this is where, to me, and this is where VTubers would actually fit into this equation, because a lot of times when I watch somebody and they're a VTuber artist, if I never see their face and I just hear their voice, it wouldn't matter to me. It's like perfect. I get it. You sound great. You know, it's a voice. But the moment I see your face and then you try to go back to the VTuber, I can't do it. It's totally wrecked for me, because my perception of what I thought this person should be versus what this person is, it gets I don't know if it's like the enjoyment of it or the thrill of, you don't know, the excitement, you know, there's that kind of thing, but it gets wrecked for me. Like, I know I was watching one artist and she started out as a flesh tuber, and then she changed to a VTuber. And then she went back to flesh tubing. And when she went to the VTuber, it just killed it for me. It was like, no, don't do that. And of course, and then she came, and she must have noticed the trend too, because her numbers must have tanked. Because when she came back, she went to one of those flesh tubers who were more revealing than normal. And it was like, don't do that. You were fine, you know. You were fine. But it's one of those, you kind of have no choice, right? I think as a streamer, there are elements of streaming that'll push you to those limits where you push that boundary because that's where the money is. You know, I mean, if all honesty, if it was, you know, Gigi can sit here topless and play video games and have hundreds of people, you know, well, all right, well, I'll go topless, you know, I mean, but that's, you know, that's that pressure, right? You get that, should you do it? Should you not do it? Is it right? Blah, blah, blah. Do I care? You know? $2.8. That's a bonus. I always try to go up at like $100. Oh yeah, I like Hijinks. She's got a great voice and great fun, and her VTuber is not. It's kind of interesting because her VTuber sometimes it's like that rag doll that gets tossed around. So I think it's really cute. Yeah, but what about the people who are hands? That all you ever see are hands. You know, like there's no camera, no avatar, no nothing. It's just them talking, and all you see is their hands. How does that one work for you? Why did I just see a name somewhere that I... What the hell? I mean, how does that one work for you when it's just hands? Oh my god, I wasn't paying attention to time. Screwed that up. I totally screwed that up. I boned that one myself. Like, I've watched streamers and they're just hands, right? So you watch me because I'm a face? Is that what you're telling me? Well, we're not doing that anymore. No, thank you. No faces here. Sorry. No. You get to look at this map. No, I'm just kidding. I'm teasing. I couldn't do that. I know I'm gorgeous, so I just, you know, it's whatever. Yeah, exactly, shenanigans. Yeah, that's exactly right. Like radio personnel. That's always funny too, because my wife always said you should have been on radio. You'd have been great reading those, telling those stories like War of the Worlds and whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I'd love radio. I would have had fun being a baseball announcer or whatever. Oh, there are so many things. You know, it's funny because when I look back at life, like, I would have loved to have gone into, like, journalism. Back when journalism wasn't the crap we're talking today. Yeah, Late Night Giggy. Hi, welcome to Late Night Giggy. Tonight's episode, we're going to talk about music. We'll start with Slipknot and work our way down to Guns N' Roses. That would be a weird conversation, going from Slipknot to Guns N' Roses. But, we could always talk about the differences between Jim Root and Saul Hudson, or Slash. I mean, that would be interesting. But, yeah. I have self-fruit, right? Yeah, we were going to read a book. I remember that. We were going to read a book. And I have to do that. I should go get that Star Wars novel and test it out. Maybe tomorrow night we'll do a little reading of chapter 1 of The Light of the Jedi, whatever it's called. Ooh, wait a minute. I've got a book sitting right there in the hallway that I just put out there. We could read Robert Mack's War of the Ancients from World of Warcraft. And that's the story of Alfurion? No, I'm sorry, that's the wrong name. That's the story of... Oh my god, I can't think of their race. Night Elf turned... on the Outland. Night Elf turned bad, whatever his name was. It's not Malfurion. It's... lives in a dark temple. Black temple. Illidan. Yeah, it's the story of Illidan. The War of the Ancients, I think. Yeah, I think that's Illidan. Storm Raids. Hold on, now that you say that. Yeah, Richard Knack. It is. It's Illidan. Months have passed since the cataclysmic battle of Mount Hyjal, which put an end to the Burning Legion's invasion. Most Legion forces on Azeroth have been slain or driven into hiding. Yet now, a mysterious energy rift in the mountains of Kalimdor propels 3 heroes to a distant past. The dragon mage Crossus, the human wizard Ronin, and the weathered orc veteran Broxidar. It is a time long before orcs, humans, or even high elves roamed the world. A time that marks the Legion's first invasion of Azeroth, brought about by Queen Ashara and other Night Elf nobles, a time when the dragon aspects are at the height of their power, unaware that one of their own will soon turn on the world as he was charged to protect. Yeah, it's about Illidan Stormraiders. We could always read that one. Yeah, this was a good... Oh, I didn't get all the way through it. I'm only halfway through this book. We're halfway through this trilogy of books. Yeah, we could always do that. We could always read novels. I've got books everywhere. I've got... Oh my god, we could go Dragonlance. We could go Star Wars. I can read you about Bane. I can read you about the World of Warcraft atlases. I can read you coding books, accounting novels, whatever you want. We can read. I can't read you through my magazine collection. Those we can't talk about. But anyway, no, I'm kidding. The man's magazine collection, which they don't make anymore, which is kind of a sad thing. But then I guess it's a waste of paper anyway. Yeah, the Black Temple was a great place to go through too. I loved going through there. It was funny. I remember when WoW came out. My friend, who's a total loved playing D&D with this guy. Still one of my best friends today. It was funny because he was like, "Oh yeah, you'll love this game. Play a rogue." And I'm like, "All right, sure, I'll try it." I played a rogue. I started with the rogue. I'd have never played that game again. Man, I hated it with a passion. It was like, this game sucks. I couldn't play this class. I didn't like the rogue. It was garbage. And I was like, who wants to be this, right? And then I moved to the Tauren Hunter. And then I loved it again, right? I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is the best thing ever. So then I joined a guild, right? And I'm like, level, I don't know, what was the cap back then? 60? 50? 60. And I think I was 50. And then the Outlands came out, or whatever, the next expansion, right? Or whatever the red area was. I don't know if it was called the Outlands. Burning Crusade, I think, was the next one. And everybody jumped to the Burning Crusade, and I was 10 levels behind, trying to catch up because I was still trying to do... We just finished AQ, and I was trying to get into the ones, the other raids before that expansion. And so everybody jumped, and I didn't get to. So then it was like, okay, well, I was done with that, right? So I didn't... my guild kind of just... Everybody flew by me, and I was just like, whatever. So I'm just kind of grinding by myself, doing my own thing. Then I met my wife or whatever online, playing WoW or whatever, and then we started, questing together and formed a guild and did our own thing. But then it was like, what was it? What came next? Burning Crusade? No, it was Burning Crusade. Then it was Ice Crown, Lich King, Wrath of the Lich King. Then it was Mist of Pandaria, and that was about the extent of it. Those 4 I was fine with. Mist of Pandaria was a little iffy for me. Cataclysm. Oh, Cataclysm, then Mist of Pandaria. Okay, I'm sorry, I forgot one. The one that came after Mr. Pandaria that let you have your own fort, which they totally screwed up, sucked. I stopped playing after that. Well, we had grandkids too, so everything changed. But that was like, hated it. Now that they brought classic back, it's like, okay, I can do classic, right? But yeah, I couldn't stand it. The warrior. Yeah, and I ended up being my favorite classes ended up being Blood Elf Paladin, Goblin Shaman, Tauren Hunter, and Blood Elf Priest. That's all I played with those 4 classes. Yeah, there was a sequence I played a lot less too. And I should pick up Classic and do it. Start over from the beginning. Maybe I'll do an Orc Shaman or something. Or Troll Shaman. Is it an Orc Shaman? Orc Warlock, isn't he? Or Troll Shaman. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. I could pop in Classic. I haven't played Classic in ages, but... That's one of those, though, I'd have to be careful. Nah, I don't care if people know what realm I'm on. I really don't give a crap. They screw with me, they screw with me. It'll be PvP anyway. And I don't play Alliance. I refuse to play Alliance. Never have, never will. I think I tried it once and was like, yeah, screw this pretty side. That was pretty much it. It was like, who wants to play on the pretty side? Because it was more, yeah, for some reason, oh my god, the Alliance side was, back in the day, was all table dancers and whatever, and it was like, really? You could have got a better game for that. But then I'm okay with RP servers. I mean, I understand how it works. I mean, I have friends who LARP, so it's like, doesn't mean I would do it. But, oh, God, you made me sad. Well, you know the game I'm looking at is this new Bitcrafter Online, which Bitcrafter looks really cool for an MMO. And it comes out tomorrow. I think the alpha is tomorrow, did they say? I have to look that up. The demo's out right now, but I would have to, that one I would break down and buy. Because it's kind of cool because you can create your own thing and everybody can make their own shops. But the stuff you stock in your shop, everybody can benefit from. Like, say for example, I'm a fisherman and I sell fish stuff. Anybody in the group can buy it, or people can come by and just buy your stuff, and then you just make more stuff. It's actually really cool. It's got a really good, see, to me, that's got a feature that I would enjoy. Yeah, it's called Bitcrafter. Let me just double check if I think it's released tomorrow. Bitcraft Online. Coming to early access tomorrow. But they don't have a way to download it. It's on my wish list, but you can't pay for it yet? But this game looks cool. Like, you kind of create the world and build things as you go. Who is that? Is that Beans? Oh, she's up late. Another one from London, England. Welcome in to Bexy Beans. You had one left, and you gave me your last penny. Man, now I got a Christmas song stuck in my head. John Denver and the Muppets, the one where you haven't got a penny, a hay penny will do. If you haven't got a hay penny, well, God bless you. How does it go? If you see it, put it... Oh, wait. Hold on. John Denver, Muppets, Hey Penny, lyrics. Christmas is coming, the goose is getting fat. Please do put a penny in the old man's hat. If you haven't got a penny, a hey penny will do. If you haven't got a hey penny, then God bless you. Yeah, that one. That's what it thinks of all the time. When somebody mentions the word penny, I get that song stuck in my head. Thank you, Beans. I appreciate it. Thank you for the cheer. You're such a sweetheart. How are you, and how is the cosplay circuit going? Did you already do your big one, or are you doing your big one this week? It's coming, isn't it? If I recall. I'm bad with dates. Yeah, John Denver and the Muppets is probably my favorite as last weekend. Oh, so you're on recovery. Back to Canada. Yeah, for some reason that... there's Goliath Beetle. Yeah, that song... John Denver and the Muppets was the best Christmas album of all time for me. I can listen to that in July. Yeah, I'll have to come check it out one day. I'll put that on my bucket list. Go see cosplay in London. Dress up like Sephiroth. Ooh, but now that I got all these scars, I can dress up with somebody who's got tons of scars. Yeah. And you know what's funny? When you think of the Muppets, there was a sci-fi show that used Muppets about the same time that came out. Oh my god, I can't remember the name, but it was awesome. Of course, everybody remembers Alf, too, from the 80s. Post-show mental health crash, always fun, yeah. Studio Pinky is raiding with the party at 2. Master of clay and ceramics and possibly the earth itself. When not protesting kings, they're throwing pots, maybe even bending elements. Tune in some chill vibes with Tiki, Studio Tiki. Welcome in, Raiders. And that's also Tiki Room Bunnies. That's his clay sculpting side. Farscape. That's what it was. Yeah, that was such a good show. That was a really good show. See, and I miss good television. And not the crap you gotta go like Peaky Blinders and you gotta go and watch on Amazon or wherever. Like, I want just a good old-fashioned family. Fraggle Rock was good too. Yeah, I know Tiki. I know the name. I recognize it. Welcome in, welcome in. But yeah, Fraggle Rock was great too. But you know, where are those great shows today, right? And you know, it's funny. Star Wars is probably, I would say the Mandalorian was going that route with cute little animals and whatever, and Grogu. Like, they could almost pull off the Muppets if it wasn't all CGI. Yeah, I'm doing good, Tiki. Thank you for checking. Shaun the Sheep, Wallace and Gromit. Yeah, Wallace and Gromit. You can't go wrong with Wallace and Gromit. Shaun the Sheep, not so much. I don't think I've... Okay, Beans, we'll see you in a bit. Get something good to eat. Go get some pudding. Nah, you don't need pudding. Go get some trifle. Oh, I think I'm gonna go wash some grapes though. God darn it! I always miss that. Gotta start my counter over. But yeah, it's interesting because, like, you know, growing up, and I want to say, like, if I had to go back and look at some of those shows today, they'd be crap. I mean, it's hard to get into watching some of that stuff with animatronics and whatever. Like E.T. would be is a prime example. If the story wasn't great and wasn't cute, but going back and looking at the what it is today, like you go back and you look at a movie from the 80s, and then you look at a movie from today, and you notice how we've gone from live action, you did all your stunts, there was no CG, to now everything's CG, you know, instead of you actually fighting like an animatronic. It's a completely different concept, right? Like you could not make a Marvel movie in today's caliber using 80s, 90s technology. You'd probably fail, and it would cost you billions. You know what I mean? So it's kind of one of those. It'd be an interesting case study for what is it called? Yeah, Jurassic Park is a prime example of that. Like you look at that first Jurassic Park, and you look at the one they're showing advertisements for today, you'd be like, whoa. No, I agree. I fully agree with that. Yeah, but it's hard for some people to go back and watch that, right? It's hard. It's hard, and I say that because it's like even for me, Star Wars, right? Like I look at Star Wars, and I'm a Star Wars. Okay, hold on. I'm also a Trekkie, right? Like I could watch Star Trek forever, but it is really hard going back and watching William Shatner Star Trek versus the Enterprise with Scott Bakula. In the change in technology, it's like it's actually difficult at times. Yeah, but see that's you're picking on a actual cosmetic thing, right? Inaccuracies that happen all the time in movies, and it's kind of funny too because how many times have you watched a movie? And Harry Potter would have been a good example where, they're having a conversation. Next thing you know, wait a minute, why is he sitting at the other side of the table? Or, they make mistakes, right? And that kind of stuff, it's funny. But at the same time, it makes for the movie, right? It makes, a little accident here or there. It's cute in a way. But it's one of those... That's the bane of my existence right there, planting flowers. I hate planting flowers for some reason. I need to know what everybody has for flower seeds, and I need to go collect thousands of flower seeds from different islands. But yeah, so movie graphics, or movie, I guess that would be movie graphics, or movie, change hard. It's hard. Like space movies I enjoy. Like Starship Troopers, that's a good one, right? Chronicles of Riddick, something that had a lot of tech. Even shows like Blade, like you look at Blade back when Blade came out, and then you look at Blade today with Deadpool, and you look at the changes, and it's like, man, I don't know if I could do super CGI. Like, and I guess that's why I like old westerns, right? Where they actually build the set, Like you look at all, like Kevin Costner's westerns, every town he's ever been in, they built. And it's like, all right, that's awesome. To me, that's great. Like Tombstone and things like that. Because you want to see an actual live set, Even though it's all made out of pine and, whatever's cheap, but... Wait, did I hit my bits goal? Is that what it says up there? I can't even read that. Oh, wow. Awesome. I don't know how to reset that. I gotta reset that. I like bits. Bits are fun. Throw me your biddies. Well, I guess I can't say that. It sounds too much like something else. But anyway, but yeah, movies. I haven't sat and watched a movie in its entirety in ages. God, I haven't watched any. Actually, I haven't watched television in ages. Let me think about this for a minute. Yeah, because my wife and I, we used to watch. She loved 90 Day Fiance. We'd watch that all the time. That'd be on TV, whatever. I liked the HGTV. Oh, I like the British one, Back to the Country, where they go and they take people out and show them houses, and they pick one of 3 properties. And the English Baking Show, the Back to the Country one. I love little towns with thatched roofs. I love that aesthetic. There's something about that that's just gorgeous. You get a nice thick beamed house, a little bit of modern amenity, but has the old thatch style roof. I think it's lovely. A little bit of a garden, Of course, they always talk in pounds. I never know how much it actually costs, and then I calculate it like, oh my God, that's in the millions. It's like, yeah, Gigi's not buying that. That's one of those Gigi needs to marry into the royal family and they get hand-me-downs. But yeah, there's it's cute. There's like little scenic, and I like the little coastal towns. Yeah, I love living where I live along the coast. I love the coast. I mean, I can go out here to the harbor a few minutes away by car and just sit and listen to the waves. Put my feet in the water. Feel like a human being. Wow, what's up, printer truck? No, it's K-O-N. Konba. Yeah, that's the other thing too, right? Like you look at the exchange rate, right? Like it's kind of funny too, because I got a guy who just moved across the street from me who's a lawyer from California or something. And I'm like, what are you doing here, man? You're 3,600 kilometers away or 3,000 miles away from the world's largest truck stop to Walcott, Iowa. What's the world's largest truck stop? Welcome in. But, yeah, housing prices are outrageous. They're outrageous here, too. And it's always funny because I remember I did 2 university stints here. And we have a sister school, which is a Chinese town or something. And they come in and they're driving these couple $100,000 cars, and you're like, all the stories about their undervalued money, they come in and they're filthy rich, even though they're not. It's like, Jesus, just because of the way the monetary system works. It's funny. Yeah, I think we're at a point too where housing market's going to come down because there's a large crash. There's going to crash here too, and we're also building tons of stuff, man. There's so many new places going up. But I'm starting to like the concept of living in a 2-story flat above a ground level shop of some kind downtown. Wait, where am I on the map? Oh, I am at the top. And it's interesting too because as I'm getting older and I'm thinking, well, I wouldn't have to shovel snow, I wouldn't have to mow my grass, I could move to like a condo where I don't have anything. All I have to do is, you know, park a car, walk to the grocery store, carry bags. You know, it's kind of interesting. It's an interesting concept to me to say, hey, let's try to be more European. Go to a smaller fridge, go to the grocery store every couple of days, get fresh everything. You know, or try to grow something on my balcony or my whatever you call it. You know, it'd be interesting. Or I can say, well, I already own, I have a home, I have land, I have this and that. You know, but that's just a money pit nowadays, no matter how you look at it, because you're always repairing something. But it's an interesting concept, right? Yeah, now see, that's an interesting thing too, a mobile home, because I did that when I was younger. I had that opportunity to live in a mobile home. To get out of base housing. So, and I did that, and I had a roommate, and we both lived in this mobile home, and it was like, I was okay with it, because it was like, this is actually not bad. I'm going to keep the scallop, I think. I think I need the scallop for something. And then nowadays, they're like, you know, even like these tiny homes, I'm looking at those, right? Like if I had a couple acres of land, whatever, on the ocean front, a tiny home would be fine for me. You know, or I'd put 2 tiny homes side by side, and, you know, that'd be plenty of space for me. You know, like I don't need anything fancy, high end, whatever. And I think it would be more, you know, as long as I had internet and plumbed water. I couldn't do wells. You know, I'd have to have actual running water. I'd be fine with it. Everything else I could care less. I mean, I'd like to have a nice view of the water, you know, where I can hear the waves or something, but you know, oh, it just closed. Look at that. I just barely made that. But anything else, yeah, anything else I don't think I'd care less. You know, of course, my next woman might complain if the house is too small, and I'm like, look, lady, I'll just buy you diamonds, and you just don't worry about it, you know. That's the other thing, you know, you get more jewelry that way. No, I'm kidding. Man, I'm gonna get in trouble. On my own channel, I'm gonna get in trouble, I swear. But we're going to Gigi after dark. We'll start reading War of the Ancients here pretty soon. And of course, a couple people have requested a certain sci-fi romance series, but that'd be one of those I'd have to get whatever, some Amazon mobile or whatever the book thing is called, and go from there. Flowers. Plant flowers. Damn. Okay, do I have flower seeds though? That's the bag stuff, isn't it? Red lilies, yellow mums, yellow roses, white roses, yellow hyacinths. See, I'm missing something. I'm missing like... Yeah, I'm totally missing... Let's go white roses. Let's go dig up 3 white roses and plant new white roses. Let's do that. I hate digging up flowers though. Yeah, no, there's a new trend, I guess. People are reading these. They're not really like, they're kind of like romance novels, but they're fantasy type romance novels, I guess. Not so much on the fantasy, but actually like real stories, kind of like if you took like, say for example, the Twilight series. Oh, I can dig up these. And you know, have kind of like a romantic twist. It's like say for example, you take in Baldur's Gate, or no, even if you took a World of Warcraft story and you just kind of turned it and added romantic elements to it. You know, like if there was something between Jaina Proudmoore and whatever, right? You had that kind of thing to it. And it's like, oh, and people actually, I guess it's a new trend. It's something that's popular, but yeah, I don't know how to explain it because I don't read romance novels. Because romance novels to me would fit in the category of like soft, um, the P word, you know, like what you'd see on Showtime or something. So to me, it's like, you know what though, but I'm actually okay with it if I think about it, because you know, as an adult, you know, reading magazines your whole life, you know, some things you were like, perfect. You know, if that's the new trend for people because they're not getting out, but at least they're reading something. Hopefully, you know, it's good. I mean, I probably know the artist who's doing the cover because I dealt with a couple artists here who do romance novel covers. And it's funny too because you say that, like 50 Shades is a good example too. It's a good analogy there. I want to do our coffee break. Oh, what's wrong? The ennui of everyday life is getting to me right now, Gigi Jack. Okay. Oh, crap. Okay. Darn it. Right now? Oh, I should have said no. Sure. How much time I've got? We got 6 minutes. Alright, let's do this. Start by my house just to make sure. But you know, it's interesting because as somebody who has an English degree, I'm all for whatever gets you reading and helping you, you know, branch out that way. I'm all for, whether it be, you know, history, romance, you know, fiction, nonfiction, comedy, whatever. Just get out and read something, right? Darn it, this is going to be tougher than I thought. And I guess it's interesting too because, you know, and I'm kind of guilty of it myself. Like I used to read the paper every day. And now that we don't get a paper delivered anymore because it's all digital, I don't bother with it because I cannot stand. I personally cannot stand sitting at my desk and reading articles. I hate it with a passion. I mean, I can't even stand reading baseball stuff that way. It's just so, because I feel like the stuff they print online is not well written. I think it's cut and paste of a story, and they don't flesh it out properly, and it drives me nuts. Like, if you're gonna put a story together, by God, take the time to write it correctly. You know, it drives me nuts. Like, I hate it. Like, I read an article the other day, and it, you know, all they do is change the title, change a couple things, and I read the same article 10 times because all they did was change it. It keeps updating it. No, I don't need it to update. Write it one time and leave it the hell alone. Don't be weird. You know, if there's a tornado in Texas, that's all I want to hear. I don't care if it went to Dorothy's house. You know, don't change it and say, okay, now we're in Neverland. You know, just leave it alone, man. Ooh, it's a hat. My own safety helmet. Yeah, I could use a silk. Oh, it's blue. I'll wear it. Whatever gets you reading. He had a meltdown whenever someone so much as mentioned the idea of reading. To teach him to read, we downloaded Wallace and Gromit comics on the phone and teach him with those. It worked. He became an avid reader, devouring books. So yeah. Did he know what he himself buried? Not. No, but they just give you random stuff. It's cool though. Yeah, and like, you know, it was interesting because I always grew up and I always read the Dragonlance Chronicles by Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman, and I probably read that 500 times. And I've probably loaned that book to everybody, and I don't have a copy of it now, which I'll have to buy another one. It's kind of like the Cure All Mixed Up album too. I've had 5 copies of that, loaned it to my friends, and never got one back. And it makes me mad because the Cure is probably my favorite band of all time. You know, love Robert Smith, but oh man. But anyway, that's a different story. And then I would always read like Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I can listen to the Cure all day long. I love the Cure. And that's probably one of my go-tos when I'm walking. I just put in the Cure and just walk. Like the All Mixed Up album, oh my God, it's phenomenal. And of course, I'm a CD guy, so I've got a whole rack of CDs over there, like thousands of them. God, I can't remember what we were talking about. Oh, reading. But I'm all for reading. Whether you grow up reading comic books, you know, Captain Underpants, actual history books, adult comics, manga, whatever. I don't care what you read, as long as you read something. Just to get into the understanding how it works. You know, because in school they'll always make you read like Grapes of Wrath, you know, Shakespeare, which are great. And you know, it was interesting because I was going to be an English teacher, high school teacher, and I did a little stint, you know, and you know, that process sucks, by the way. Like, you get a degree, and then you say, oh, well, you got to go and intern, and by intern they mean you got to go work at a school for peanuts and barely make minimum wage while you do all this stuff for us, you know, substitute, whatever, we'll let you teach, and if there's something open down the road, we might hire you, you know, kind of thing. And I was like, screw that, I can't even pay my bills on what you're paying me, right? Those threes. Oh, you know what else I liked reading? I always liked British romanticism, so I read a lot of British. Man, I read a lot of British everything, actually, because everything we read was British. But yeah, ad break. All right, we'll wait. Should go wash those grapes. Oh, we were gonna get coffee with Brewster. Brewster the Rooster. Absolutely, dude. I need a bigger bit skull. And it's interesting too because when life gives you limits, let's sell shells. Wow, I haven't had that quest in ages. All right, let's go pick up shells. I got a froggy. I don't need a froggy. I need shells and trees. Axe time, baby. Ad break is over. Welcome back, chat. Chatty people. Chat wins, chat people, chatty Betty's, Martha's, whatever your names are. Chat robots. Chat bots. Chatter. Oh, can't say that. That's probably wrong. It's a weird place for a tree behind a house. You guys, it's kind of interesting too, because it's like, when you think of like stream mechanics, like who watches Twitch? Most of I think most of my audience is British, which I greatly appreciate. But man, the 4-hour time difference, it's gotta be hard for some of y'all. Some of y'all. Oh man, I got the South. Come on, goldfish. Let's go. Come on. I don't want frogs. Who wants frogs? That's a good one. But it's interesting too because, and here's the thing, and I will honestly admit there's a trend. Like when I talk to British people, it's a far better conversation than when I talk to people from North America, typically. No, that's not true. Let me rephrase that. When I'm in a channel and I watch behavior, well, no, I can't say that either because that's not true. Hold on a minute. Let me think about this. No, I've had good philosophical conversations on both ends of the spectrum. So, but majority of it is British audience, which I thoroughly enjoy because I get to learn a little bit about Europe at the same time from it. Then you get to learn a little bit about Canada. And it might be the tea. But I've had good conversations on both ends. But I don't tend to get, I think like, I want to say that North Americans have a shorter attention span. Because most of the ones I can, if I were to name a few, which I'm not going to, 7 and 3 make 10. And I could keep the rest. So I feel like when I'm talking to North Americans, it's kind of like that TikTok mentality, right? Or YouTube Shorts. You look at something, it goes really quick, you move on. And that for me is hard to, as a streamer, hard to prepare for or react to. Like I don't know how to sell myself to that short person. I guess that's the question or the thing, right? Yeah, exactly. You know, so I do well. I think I do well when I can talk to somebody over a long duration of time. I think I fail in areas where I have to talk to somebody and oh, you got 3 minutes, hurry up, I gotta go. You know, that kind of mentality, right? It's like, oh, I can't sell myself to you. You know, it's like, and here's a good example. Like I can watch, and maybe it's different too, because I can watch anybody stream anything, but I prefer kind of the story narrative where it goes through. Like say for Shenanigans, right? He drives a truck IRL, or he does a CAD stream. Like I enjoy his trucking streams because it's just, we're driving, we're talking, nice scenery, going wherever. We're just along for the ride and you're just having a good old time, right? And it could be hours, you know, but I can sit there and I'm fine with that. You know, whereas other people, it's like, okay, I'm going to show you this for 5 minutes. Then we're going to go over here and look at this. You know, let me show you what's in my art section. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. I can't get into it. It's like, like it seems too orchestrated or too, you know, whatever. Like I can't do it. I can't sit there. And maybe it's just me. Like I can't sit there and be like, oh, okay, let's look at pictures. Let's go do this. Even though I can show pictures, and I prefer when people put pictures in because I'd love to be able to share art or share food or have conversations. I made a really good sandwich the other day too, by the way, which I think I'm going to do again tomorrow, but I'm going to add tomato. I should actually just... put a fried egg over a tomato. But, yeah. Kids. Who wants them? Yeah, I've seen streams too where it's like a 30-minute timer. Those timer ones are interesting. And don't get me wrong, I think they're great. Streamers are great at what they do. But it's like, how do you pull that off, right? Like, I can't sit there and watch somebody who keeps changing topics on me every 10 minutes. Every 30 minutes. You know, like I have ad breaks, whatever, like every 30 minutes. It's like, okay, let's change over here to do this. I personally couldn't do it. Like, I really don't think I could do it. Let's go down to the mermaid stuff and make sure I can make all the beach stuff before I can't. Pearls and sand dollars. Pearls, giant clams, coral. Pearl, giant clam, coral. Where's the ones with the blue stuff? Ah, there they are. Summer shells and coral. Let's knock those out. Summer shells and coral, and pearls and sand dollars. But, you know, it's like, and it's also one of those too, like, I don't mind, like, sometimes I feel like, I don't want to say I'm lost. I feel like, if you as a viewer have an idea or want to see something different, you tell me, and I'm okay with that, to a degree. What did I say, pearls and sand dollars? Oh, it was pearls and summer shells, wasn't it? But anyway, because I'm all for, you know, trying to make my streams better so I can have more people sitting and talking. But it's also one of those too. It's, to me, it's like you have to find people that have the time, right? Like I think a lot of times, I think if I was doing this in the morning hours, I would have a better audience because I would have more people. And especially when I look at it from like the British side, right? Like I'd have more of Europe because I go late, so then it's basically North America and Australia, right? Like in about 30 minutes or less, Joyful should pop in from Australia. Which is great. But then my audience, am I strictly going, you know, Europe? Am I strictly going Australia? Am I trying to get, you know, wherever? That's what I have to think about, right? Like, I got to find out, well, obviously when I go back to work, it's going to be different anyway, because it doesn't matter. My time's not going to change. Now that I think about it, it won't matter at all because I can't change my time. Yeah, it won't matter anyway because I can't change time. If I go to a 9 to 5 job, you know, the only way I could do it if I get a nighttime stocking a shelf job. No, and I do understand that, right? Like I really respect that I have a certain niche of people that come in. God, I forgot what I was getting. And I wouldn't want to screw that up, right? Because I enjoy my audience. I just need to figure out a way how to triple my audience on given nights, or you know. And part of me is like, well, is it because you stream every day? You stream too much? Is it because, you know, you're boring as hell? Is it because, you know, you're in a bad time frame? Is it because, you know, you're playing cozy games? If you're playing something more aggressive, you know, people want to see, you know, more beat 'em up, shoot 'em up, whatever, you know, MMOs, you know, do that. But I think, you know, or want to see art, you know, and it's interesting too, because even in the art side, it's like, as an artist, when you do art, That crowd, they have to be into what you're doing, the craft, in order for you to have growth there. I don't think you don't get the random Joe Schmo who says, oh, I want to watch this guy draw emotes. You know, that doesn't happen, right? You have to technically be an artist or somebody who likes doing that, or somebody who wants to learn about doing that, who's doing that, right? You don't get the whole random person just watching somebody draw or somebody knit. You know, you got to be a crafter, knitters, right? And even then in those craft communities, if you're not a crocheter, a fellow crocheter, you're not going to watch other people because you only want to watch crocheters. And I don't know if I said crocheter right. I don't know if that's the correct term. Yeah, I'll take it. But you know what I mean? Like, and I look at it like, you know, when I've been sick, right? Like the people that I had in the beginning of the process, I don't have now. I don't see them on a regular basis anymore. And it's cyclical, right? It all changes, which is totally fine. I need to plant a fruit tree. Is that what I need to do? Yeah, I'm not sure how to pull people in too. And see, it becomes kind of a word of mouth deal, right? And this is where it's interesting because I look at like the YouTube side. Like I could be monetized if I could get to the 1,000 followers on YouTube. Or 500 or whatever it is. But I can't grow YouTube organically by myself without getting word of mouth help. And this is where you would need a bunch of people in high schools or colleges to say, hey, check this guy out, go follow this guy, and it just randomly takes off. Because even, and I noticed that trend even on Twitch, like, say for example, like somebody raids me, like Tiki, right? He just raided me with 2. Say he raids me with 100. I've had people raid in with 100, right? And you get 1 follow. Well, hold on a minute. If they're raiding in from a channel and, you know, this is a channel you watch, typically when you raid somebody, the whole concept is you raid in, you follow them, you help boost their numbers. Or somebody will sit and say, oh, you know, I actually like this guy, and you'll gain followers, right? That doesn't happen as much anymore. That seems to be a weird, it doesn't happen. It should, but it doesn't. And I don't know why it doesn't. But like, even when I have numbers and I get a whole bunch of followers and I get new people, they don't come back and watch. Like, it would be great to, even if you come back and you watch for an hour, that hour helps me, you know, and it also gives me an extra body to talk to, right? Grow fruit trees, sell fruit. So that's 2-in-1 deal. And catch bugs. Oh man, I'm never going to catch that bagworm or that goldfish. I should just rip these trees out right here. Because I can just replant a coconut tree. And it's an interesting concept because I look at the YouTube side and it's slowly growing. I'll get a one person every couple days, you know, which is really nice. However, you don't get the, I think, you know, YouTube, I don't get the interaction as much, and I try, you know, and I try to be cognitive of those people. I mean, I try to talk to them and try to, you know, get them to say, oh yeah, you know, it's great. But they're more about the videos. But you know, even when I post videos, I don't get looks that way. So it's kind of rated in, yeah. And see that, and raids are supposed to help, right? And thank you for the compliments, by the way. And raids should help you get your numbers up. But I don't think people are doing what they're supposed to anymore. Most of them aren't there anyway. They're just lurking, right? Please be the goldfish. Like, you could have 100 people in a channel raid in, and half of them aren't there anyway, right? But yeah, it's kind of, and sometimes I think, I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe I think too much about it, but sometimes I feel like it's disheartening when you meet all these people and they don't come back. You know, it's like, oh, did I do something wrong? Or, you know, or it's a bummer, or, you know, or maybe they're busy. And I know we're going to go through that lull here in a minute because summer's coming, and summer it should die off. You know, so my numbers, I should be lucky if I have 2 people here at any given time. So I get that, right? I fully understand that, and I expect that. But at the same time, it's like a kick in the teeth, you know. Because you want people to be in your channel. You want people to be talkative. You want people to be, you want to grow. But at the same time, it's like you're aware that certain elements are outside of your control, and it sucks. Dude, that fish totally turned on me last second. Oh, come on. Really? Welcome in, Elder Wolf. And like I said, here comes Australia. But it's interesting, right? And I guess from the numbers side, it's just, I don't know how to get it to grow. And then I don't know if it will grow, because I have seen streamers who've been doing this for 10 years who have not even 1,000 followers yet. You know, we'll say 800, who've been doing this for 10 years and only have like 10 people in their channel. So then compared to that, I feel like I'm doing fine. Yeah, 7 days to die and getting attacked by zombie vultures. So it's interesting. So it's kind of one of those, you know, I feel like I'm doing, organically, I'm doing fine. But at the same time, you tell yourself, like, you want more. And I guess that's what it's hard, right? You think you should have more. Even though you're not that good, you forget about it. But, you know, that's life. No, I'm kidding. I'm teasing. I feel like I should go wash some grapes. Why can't they give me things that all sync together better? Wait, did I have self-fruit? Is that what that is? Yeah. Alright. I'm standing right here. Woo, I'm getting 10,000 tomorrow. 80% rip off. But I'm very appreciative of everybody who hangs out. I really enjoy it. Oh, you know who I haven't seen? Wait a minute. Where's Cherry? I haven't seen her all day. She must be sick. I think this is her house here. She might be sick and have to go get medicine. Man, I was hoping Pietro, when he talked to me earlier, he was going to tell me he was moving. I was like, yeah, buddy, go ahead. I need some new loves in my life. Like, it's interesting. Like, tomorrow I want to get up. I want to run to the grocery store. I want to buy about 8 bags of soil. And I want to patch some depressions in my yard, which for some reason, I don't know why it seemed to have depressions in my yard. Oh, no, don't worry about it, Alondra. That's fine. That's fine. I appreciate it, though. But it's interesting, too, because I get all those... I got a lot of students come in, right? And you can tell they're students because they always say, oh, I was at school and, was doing this and studying. And they give you good compliments and whatever. It's like... And then I'm sitting there in my head like, tell 1,000 of your friends. Go tell hundreds of your friends that, hey, hit this guy up on YouTube. Or, hey, do this, right? Like, it goes through my head like, tell them. And then part of me is like, no, don't, because then I get too many people, and then I don't know what to do with myself. All right, fish. Don't be coy with me. Let's go in the rod here. Jump on the bobbing, on the bobber. Black bass. Oh no, I'm sorry, a carp. Ha! It's not the black bass. It's the carp. Yeah, I need to figure out here. I need to go through here and say, okay, let me look up these flowers. How do I grow certain red and blue make purple or whatever, and figure it out. A Azuma crab. What a gripping find. I know, that's fine, Alondra. You gotta go, you gotta go. It's nap time, nap time. Yeah, I remember you, Boom. What's up, buddy? I don't remember if you subscribed over there from yesterday, though, but I don't remember seeing that. Not me a subscriber follow. Where is it? One of these here. Don't forget to do that. Smash that like button. Oh, really? Yeah, I know what time it is. I know what time it is across the pond. And like 10 a.m. in Australia. Getting ready to have their lunch hour. Vegemite on toast. Which my friend is getting for me, which I can't wait to try. And I've got my